Vanessa, my sister, I will be getting married soon. Who is the lucky man and what is his occupation? His name is Daniel. He owns a small shop in Yaba. Does he have a car? Yes, but it is an old Toyota Camry. Elena, I can never marry a man who cannot give me a life of luxury. Elena, this is Surulere. The rich live in Banana Island and Victoria Island, and that is where I belong. Vanessa, you have to be careful when choosing a life partner. Marriage is not all about living in luxury. I was not born to suffer. You just have to be careful and choose wisely. I am not my sister. I will never marry a poor man that can't give me a luxurious life.
Hello, family. Today's story is a powerful and emotional journey about love, ambition, and the consequences of choosing wealth over character in marriage. If you are new here, please subscribe to the channel and give this story a big like to support. Now, let's dive in and discover the kind of husband Vanessa chooses. I will never marry a man who cannot give me a life of luxury. Vanessa's voice cut sharply through the small apartment in Surulere. She was 26, beautiful, tall and striking, with long, flowing hair that caught the setting Lagos sun. Her eyes, dark and sharp, glimmered with hunger, not for food, but for power, status, and a life seen only in glossy magazines. Her older sister Elena was folding clothes quietly nearby. Calm, thoughtful, and gentle, Elena had always been the peacekeeper between their dreams and reality. She felt a quiet tremor of fear. Vanessa's words were not idle. They were a declaration, a prophecy that would change the sisters' lives. They were not rich, but their home was always full of laughter. Vanessa hated that. Vanessa turned to the balcony, watching the chaotic pulse of Lagos below. Yellow Danfo buses honked in unison, their metal bodies rattling like distant drums. The smell of fried plantain mingled with exhaust fumes. Vendors' shouts echoed from every corner, a chorus of survival and ambition. I was not born to suffer, Vanessa continued, flipping her hair with deliberate flair. Look at this city. The rich live in Banana Island, Ikoyi, Victoria Island. That is where I belong. Elena stepped out beside her, the soft evening breeze lifting a strand of her hair. And what if love lives in Surulere? She asked gently. Love doesn't buy Range Rovers. It was that day everything truly began. The day ambition drew a line between two sisters who had grown up in the same laughter-filled, modest home. The day their worlds started spinning on different axes. Elena loved simplicity. She spent afternoons reading novels by the window, tending a small balcony garden of peppers and okra, listening to the songs of Lagos evening birds. Her joy was quiet. Vanessa, on the other hand, chased glitter. She worked as a receptionist at a luxury hotel in Victoria Island. Every day she watched wealthy men stride through glass doors, suits perfectly tailored, expensive watches gleaming on their wrists. She memorized brands, colors, car models. She followed influencers, billionaires, and socialites online, building mental spreadsheets of what life could be if she just reached higher, stretched further. The sisters' parents were hardworking and humble. Their father, a civil servant, brought home modest earnings. Their mother sold fabrics in Bologun Market, weaving small miracles from thin cottons and bright prints. They had warmth, love, and peace. But Vanessa didn't see that as wealth. She saw it as limitation. I just want a home where someone loves me deeply, Elena had said once, folding shirts on the couch. Elena met Daniel, a software technician in Yaba. His life was ordinary. He fixed laptops, coded small websites, drove a used Toyota Corolla. Yet, he carried kindness like a second skin. He would arrive at her apartment at dawn with a cara wrapped in wax paper, He would pray with her before bed. He never raised his voice. He promised loyalty, calm, and a safe harbor in a city that demanded constant motion and ambition. One Sunday evening, driving across the third mainland bridge overlooking the lagoon, Daniel spoke softly. I cannot promise you luxury, but I promise loyalty. I promise peace. Will you marry me? Elena said yes. When Vanessa heard about Daniel, she stood, arms crossed, a frown knitting her brow. You are choosing a broke man, she said bitterly. I know, but he is better, Elena replied. Meanwhile, Vanessa was pursued by Noah, a young entrepreneur who owned a small tech repair shop. Honest, hard-working, ambitious in his own quiet way, he treated Vanessa with respect. He brought fruit from the market, fixed her phone without charge, and spoke of growing a future together. I want to build a life with you, he said, eyes hopeful, one afternoon in their modest living room. I can't marry a low-budget man. I will marry into luxury. Noah's smile faltered. I may not be wealthy yet, but I am honest, hardworking. I deserve a man who is already established, someone powerful. He left quietly. 3 weeks later, Vanessa met Adrian Cole at the hotel where she worked. He was everything she desired, powerful, wealthy, commanding, with a construction empire that dotted Lekki with high-rises, luxury cars lining his driveway, political connections dangling at his fingertips. His sent-in gifts arrived almost immediately. Designer bags and outfits, an iPhone, trips to Dubai, an apartment in Lekki Phase 1, fully furnished for convenience, he said. Her Instagram flourished. Friends envied her. Strangers treated her differently. Social media called her a queen. Adrian did all these just to get her attention. Within a year, Adrian proposed. The wedding was a spectacle. Half of Victoria Island on its feet. Chandeliers sparkled above. Celebrities posed for photos. Cameras flashed like lightning. Vanessa walked down the aisle, believing she had conquered Lagos. 3 months later, the first slap came when Vanessa wanted to go for an event. It was quiet, unexpected.
Where do you think you are going to?
You represent me. You do not move without my permission. You are joking, right? He wasn't. Silence filled the marble-floored living room. I'm sorry, he said immediately, pulling her close. You made me angry. You know how protective I am. She told herself it was stress. She told herself it was love. She told no one. Adrian controlled everything. Her clothes, her friends, her phone, her freedom. You think powerful men are faithful? You enjoy the benefits, accept the realities. Vanessa felt something inside her slowly dying. Meanwhile, in Yaba, Elena's life was ordinary but safe. Her ceiling fan sometimes stopped working. Daniel's Corolla broke down occasionally. Money was tight, but their home was filled with laughter, peace, and love. One night, Adrian hosted a private party. Later that night, she caught him in the garden kissing another woman, not hiding, not ashamed. When she confronted him, he grabbed her arm, leaving bruises. Do not embarrass me in my own house, he whispered. That night, she was beaten, not in anger, but dominance. The next morning, he bought her a diamond bracelet. This is why you stay, he said calmly. Vanessa looked in the mirror, her face filled with bruises, expensive, broken. Months later, Vanessa discovered she was pregnant. Are you sure this child is mine? Humiliation swelled inside her. One night, a violent push sent Vanessa to the hospital. She lay staring at white walls as rain poured on Lagos. While Vanessa recovered in the hospital, a journalist revealed the explosive truth. Adrian Cole's empire was a house of cards built on fraud, corruption, and illegal land deals. You brought bad luck. Something inside Vanessa snapped. She waited. When Adrian was called in for questioning by the EFCC, she packed her bags. No diamonds, no designer bags, no high heels, just clothes, hospital papers, and courage. She drove to Surulere, to Elena. When Elena opened the door, she did not question. She held Vanessa. Weeks later, Adrian's empire crumbled publicly. Vanessa filed for divorce, and for the first time, she was free. 3 years passed. I thought money was protection, she said quietly. You are free now. Vanessa nodded. Remember, choose wisely when it comes to marriage, and marry for character, not for comfort. Money can build a house, but only respect and kindness can build a home. It is better to live simply with a man who honors you than to live in luxury with a man who controls or hurts you. If this story touched your heart, subscribe now and become part of this storytelling family. Turn on your notifications so you never miss the next powerful story. Drop a comment telling us which country you are watching from.